old J-Rock.
Back with vengeance.
Wait, say something low.
Oh, no audio.
Oh, buddy.
No audio from you, buddy. Messed around, pulled that plug out, and did whatever you just did. It was working before you messed around with that joint. Oh, you're welcome for that shout out, buddy. My man is
Have one else. You be seeing my face when I be doing stuff like, yep.
And trying to get that sound right. Studying. So video is through a prism?
Yeah, low. Yeah, low. We live.
More money? What did you just say? Do we need to donate more money? What the fuck is he talking about? Yeah,
Nah, cause we live.
What is the problem?
Cause we live.
Is the problem that Sin? Can you even hear yourself? Hey, no, what did you do? You unplugged something. You took a plug and you said, just in case. I'm nervous. I don't want to mess this up. And you took a plug and you unplugged something or you plugged something in. And now we can't hear you. Hey, listen, what to do, snackers and snackettes?
Hey, we looking a little weird, but
Joker's in the house. Sin is in a box. They decided amongst themselves that Sin was going to run the show tonight. I ain't had nothing to do with this. This is all on it. I'm an innocent bystander. Just waiting for things to happen. Tatiana, you get like 1,000 points for that joint in the comments right there. Just 1,000 points. You hear me? See if you can make Sin read that joint out loud when he gets his audio back, assuming that happens. You know what? Today, we was going to talk all about One Piece, but I guess we don't have to because we can't hear Sin. Look at Oh, man. Oh, man. Look at him. Rub your face, Genie, and make a wish. You welcome, Tot. Okay, listen. Here's what's going to happen on this show. We got a lot to talk about. Me and Jokes have a lot to talk about. Sin has a lot to listen to currently. If he gets his audio back up, and as long as he doesn't mess up our audio,
we're good. You can hear us well. I know seeing us right now is probably a little bit of a snafu though.
He's just trying to figure out what he broke.
Don't worry, Sin. I had to go through it too.
Okay. So right now, the screens are all over the place.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Like I don't know what. I don't know what. What's going on, man? What happened to the screens? Yes, Ellis, donate more money. Man. Okay. So how do I move myself so that I'm in?
I don't think it's gonna work because it's like part of me.
I don't need.
Ellis like blame it on the missing facial hair.
Can't be trusted at all. Now I'm not. Now here's the thing. I was told everything was good up until just now.
It seemed like it was fine until
exactly, Greg.
I'm
gonna tell you why. Because rather than actually do a separate test and actually test it and try it beforehand, these two decided to do it for the live show without talking to me first.
Hey, he said he got it. He's saying,
I'm just saying. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Austin's power was in his facial hair. It's all gone now. the golden facial locks, all ghosts. Like I can't tell. You know, he's left-handed, so I can't see what the mouse is doing. Like I can see him, and based on the images that are on screen,
I will try something right quick. I want to see if
I've never seen anything weirder than this.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can actually just steal it from him right quick. Let's see if this works. Like I think it may.
What if you can take it over?
Yeah.
Try to fix it. This ought to be interesting.
Oh nah.
Well, listen, while they do that, let me just start telling y'all what's going on today. Other than this fiasco that's happening, which I'm having a good time with. So Disney just decided, oh, we just gonna redo the Star Wars timeline. So they just put out a whole new Star Wars timeline. So we're gonna talk about that for sure.
Cool.
There's a lot to discuss there. And then DC just decided we going ham. Wonder Woman was so good, we just gonna put out a whole bunch of stuff. So they got a whole bunch of stuff they got to talk about. Then we're gonna talk about some highlights from 2020, just some of the things that were our favorites from last year. Because while there was a lot of bad last year, there was also a lot of good.
Check.
And so we're gonna talk about some of those things. Jay Roberts says you are reversed on screen, Sin, but I don't know if you're actually reversed or if
no, it's the
other direction because you move to that.
It's an OBS thing. It's an OBS thing.
Okay, OBS thing. Did you
do something, Joe?
Hey!
Oh snap!
And the other question is, does it look better on screen now, guys?
It looks great.
I literally don't know what happened. Whenever that happened with my headphones, threw everything into whack.
Hey, dog, listen. Listen, bro.
Because my man had it.
It's fine. How are you, sir? Can't hear you, buddy. Can't hear you. You broke something. Probably messed the video up, too. See? Now? See?
Can you hear me now?
You broke it.
Hey.
Yep.
I ain't touching nothing.
Yeah, cuz we on, we're in like 10 minutes in or so. It's cool. You know what I mean? There's plenty to talk about.
Yeah, don't ask me to
Jokes.
switch nothing.
Yo.
What's up, Heather? He was probably Googling a solution. Nah, he probably for real. Let me just tell y'all something about Sin.
Oh Lord.
Sin does not read
Story time.
instructions. There are no manuals that have ever been opened by that man. By that boy, by that child, by that teenager, by that young man. There has never been a manual opened by that guy. I can tell you this as recently as when the desk he is using right now in front of you was being put together because I was there doing it.
And just putting it together?
Doing it, bro. Like, that dude don't read. There's no Googling for instructions. He's just gonna finger crush it till it happens, which is why he can't tell you what went wrong or how he fixed it. Can you?
I can tell you how I fixed the audio.
Are you sure? Because a second ago, your audio was also out again, and you didn't know what happened. I'm not touching nothing.
I'm not right now because it's something with the cord.
That's new, though, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's something with the cord. Like it's too loose or something like that.
Boy, take that back.
Well, my man G said 15 years younger Sin.
Great with all that. Nah, I don't like this at all. I can't stand this.
Hey, so you know what? Let's just talk about that for a second. Because the elephant in the room has been slamming his trunk into things for a few minutes now. So listen, New Year's Eve, a lot of y'all who are currently in the chat happen to jump in. Well, we did like a 6-hour stream to bring in New Year's, Popeyes and pajamas. Sin did end up getting over $500, which is why his face looks like
that.
Yeah.
Right now. And as a whole, like as a team for Extra Life, for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, you all helped us raise over $2,500, which is pretty dope. So thank you to all of you for donating and for watching our antics and for hanging out with us till it was very late in the morning. Very late in the morning.
Yeah.
For sure. We are going to be doing another charity event January 29th. We will be participating in a charity event with the good folks over at Uncanny Nerd. So if you are not familiar or have not heard of them, I highly recommend that you find them on Facebook. Check them out on YouTube. Good group of folks over there that are doing a fundraiser to raise money for a very particular cancer organization that puts together like they put together like, I don't want to call it like pots. I guess they're almost like gift baskets for people who are going through like chemo and things of that nature. I'll get the information. We're really going to talk about it at the end, but I just figured I'd bring it up now since we're already talking about Extra Life.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it at the end, and I'll make sure you guys have details and all that. We don't know exactly what the timing is going to be. It is going to be a 24-hour stream from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Our involvement is probably going to be for at least around an hour. And if you have ever seen the things that take place when we get together and decide to put together a top 10 list, there's going to be some of that
Crazy.
going on. Currently, J. Robert Deans, we're planning to have the three of us joined, hopefully by Mr. Mike Slade, who's currently in the chat.
Salute.
Possibly by Frosty, who also I saw in the chat on Twitch. So we can decide the top 10 DC animated films of all time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hoot. And J. Roberts, you are allowed to watch and chat, but you may not participate.
Like, I just want to make Apocalypse. I want to make Apocalypse War just number one, just for him.
Just because.
Yeah. Just for him.
So definitely for all of you who are in the chat, please go and check out and follow, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff to Uncanny Nerd, so that you will be abreast of what's going on. Make sure you're following them across all social, Instagram and what have you, because they've been posting and will continue to post the flyers and so forth for that day. It's a really cool thing. It's more or less being done for a mutual friend of ours, and Rodney Roberts and his wife, and what she's currently going through. But they didn't want it to be something that was dedicated just to them. So I really love what they're doing, and I appreciate what it is, and we're happy to be a part of it for sure. So having said that, let's talk about Star Wars. Are we prepared for this?
Guess so.
All right, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the show, I asked for a graphic to be added to the show.
Hey, look.
How broken?
I'm going to say right now.
Hey, look. I'm
going to say right now.
Look at him, y'all.
If I pull that trigger, you might not like what you see.
Hey, so listen, what we going to do is...
I did it. But the way everything got messed up, if I pull that trigger...
Yeah. Hey, listen, you got something exclusive, Slate? By all means. Hey, Black Squadron is...
Hey.
What up, PP? So, yeah. So, all right, we'll skip the graphic. All right, Sin? You okay with that?
Unless you just want to go print it, Sin, and you just want to hold it up in front, and you just want to hold it up front you.
I can't technically do that right now. With my tablet right here, just hold it up on my tablet.
All right, so look. So basically, Disney/Lucas has decided to kind of reofficialize the Star Wars timeline. Basically because today marks the release of The High Republic, which is like a series of books and a new comic book that hits like tomorrow. And this is all like 200 years prior to The Phantom Menace. So all of the things that had been written prior to Disney getting the rights that at one point was canon, what has been considered legend, this is kind of reestablishing what the actual timeline is. So here's kind of how they have the eras lined up. I'm sorry, 1,000 years and 400 years and 200 years. We have some issues, y'all. But listen,
It's set well before the original plot.
Right.
how about that? How about
Yeah.
well with a hard H, well before the Phantom Menace? Here's where I'm at. So the eras are basically this: the High Republic,
Mm-hmm.
the Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, and Rise of the First Order. All of which, based on what those eras are, you can almost take the trilogies and slot them
Right.
into place.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, the High Republic is literally like Golden Age Jedi Order,
Right.
which I think is ripe for some of the best stories we're probably ever. Like, I'm gonna tell you what excites me probably the most about this is that I really, 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 really want a really good Jedi game. I want a game that is about Jedis when Jedis are
In that prime
the shiznit.
prime time, and they was the thing.
Like, it don't have to be like a crazy action game, but like, I mean, if BioWare could get their act together.
Good Lord, just remaster Knights of the Old Republic.
Nah, you have to remake Knights of the Old Republic.
Right. That's
I
for,
can't,
like,
I can't
that's what
do,
I mean.
I
Like,
can't do.
that's what I mean. Build it again from the ground up. That story and everything was so dope.
Because here's the thing, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, those games need actual combat now. Like, they
Yeah.
can't
Just be
yeah, you gotta actually fight.
Yeah.
That would make all the difference in the world for me. What's up, high school sin? So you just finished Into the Dark, and that's your new favorite. What's the name of the book that was written by Charles Soule? If you don't mind, I know you know, BP. That's the one I have my eye on. I like Charles Soule's work, so that's the one I have my eye on. While we're hoping it, okay, it is a High Republic book. Okay, so the Fall of the Jedi as an era is
Light of the Jedi.
prequel trilogy: Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Reign of the Empire, from a movie standpoint, really is just Solo, but like Bad Batch takes place
In that
During
time
that-
frame.
during
In
that
that-
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
in that time. Right now, Marcus, we're just talking about the new Star Wars timeline that they basically dropped today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not completely new, but that's basically this. Light of the Jedi. Thank you. Age of Rebellion, the original trilogy. So New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
And Rebels.
New Republic is where the Mandalorian takes place.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Rise of the First Order is the most recent trilogy. The new like Resistance animated show
Mm-hmm.
will fall in there. And then, of course, with the new slate of shows and product that are coming in, it seems like they're gonna sort of pepper the
Yeah.
entire run of eras.
Yeah. Sprinkle
Which
something a
I
little
think
bit
is
everywhere.
smart. Here's the thing. I can recall that Disney getting control of Star Wars from Lucas made people afraid
Oh yeah.
what Disney would do with it, what they'd be able to do with it. And it has taken a very, very long time, I feel like, for them to really find like a stride. But I feel like right now they're in it. And all of it, I feel like, is really based on the success they've managed to find with what they're doing with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same kind of
list that they're
plot,
gonna put,
right? But there's so much time. There's so much outside of. Here's again, my favorite thing about what has most recently happened with Star Wars, outside of the Mandalorian, is them finally deciding to put a cap on the Skywalker story.
Agreed.
Because there's so much to be told within that universe that can and should be told to a much wider audience.
Agreed.
That I think is hungry for Star Wars that isn't Skywalker based specifically. So whether you like the most recent trilogy or not, I'm just happy it's done.
Right.
Like, for real. Because for Skywalker to be the name that everybody, he's like far from the baddest, best Jedi, most powerful Force user there's ever been. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many stories to be told outside of that. And right now, that setup, that ridiculously large gap between the High Republic and the prequel trilogy is so open.
Yep.
So open. And there's an opportunity here, in my opinion, for them to make Jedis actually cool again. Like, Jedis aren't really cool anymore. I hate to say it. I love the Jedis. But they stopped being cool. I think that the Sith and the Sith characters have been cooler characters than the Jedi have been for a very long time.
They have been.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So outside of like that small window of like Genndy Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars, we get to see, really get to see, like, for a moment, Mace Windu, and like everybody just kind of going for broke, and you get these tiny glimpses of like what all of these different characters could do. This is an opportunity to really, really push it and make Jedis feel like the superheroes I think they always were telling us they were.
Right.
But they were already a dead and gone kind of a thing.
Go back to when they were flourishing and it was all about that. Yeah.
Hey, what are you talking about, Ty? What are you talking about? What is this no way, Ty? First of all, Ty, I ain't seen you in like a week.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll just be popping in this joint talking about no way.
Just trying to start some.
You are right from a certain point of view, BP. No doubt. A Star Killer movie or show. Hey, listen. I would love for them to find a way to really canonize those games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love for them to find a way to canonize those games. I don't think they're gonna do it, but it would be dope. You know what I mean? If they did it.
If they do it one, it's gonna be with the newest one, Fallen Order.
I mean, that's already canon.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Fallen Order is
go
canon.
back and make those canon. I see what you're saying.
And I mean, if they could make, like, say, go back and do those, especially with Star Killer, I know they want to try to eventually, have one of those adult Star Wars type of movies. Like, I don't want to say borderline rated R, but that could be the one that you would do it with if you just wanted to get one type. I don't, by all means, I don't think Star Wars needs to be rated R. But I know if they wanted one of those series opportunities to do it, that could be the one to actually take it and actually do it with it.
Hey, give me just a second to address Ty for a moment. All right, first of all, J. Robert Dean's great point. I like what you had to say there. Ty, who's the most recent, coolest Jedi you can think of? By all means, drop it in the comments, because I bet you, Sin or Jokes can name a Sith that's cooler than. Easily.
There's only a couple. And they only come in pairs.
Like, I mean, there's only two I would put in there. If I throw out
Darth Maul,
I was gonna say,
if I say Ventress, you already lost.
That's already a wrap.
Hey, look, I'd even
throw General Grievous.
Grievous, not even.
Hey, look, I'd even put Kylo being cooler than anybody else. He had the dope. Hey, look, his fit was on fire, and that lightsaber was mean. I'm just saying.
So any other time that he wasn't talking or crying is what you're pretty much saying?
Yeah,
Is
pretty
that-
much. Yeah, I'm talking about the look. I'm talking about the look
But
in the
listen,
lightsaber.
no.
That's
Wait.
it.
Here's the thing. Look, Marcus is saying Qui-Gon and Mace Windu. First of all, Qui-Gon not cool. Mace was cool, but you don't really ever get to see him
do anything
except for, like I said, in that moment in Clone Wars. And what I'm saying is that, like, that was so many years ago. That was so many years ago. What year? The prequel trilogy was early aughts.
Count Dooku. Count Dooku.
Cool.
Yeah.
Smooth. Smooth.
Man had the rounded lightsaber,
Yep.
like the whole like.
You're right. Grievous and Ren were not Sith, I know, but the fact that Grievous is cooler than basically any Jedi that's come since he was
and was
revealed.
bodying them.
He bodied all them Jedi.
And bodied them.
He was bodying Jedi. Like, he really was bodying Jedi.
No force powers.
Speaking of Grievous, did you see the meme
Hey,
where they gave him?
Hold on, I'm getting beat up. Wait, Qui-Gon is not cool.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Cool.
He can have, like, he could be a great force user or a decent, but
I would rather sit down and have
realistic.
Jinx with Grievous than any other like Jedi.
You saw the meme where they gave him the twisted tees, right?
Yeah.
The coolest thing about Qui-Gon is him being in the Taken films.
I was just about to say that.
I know you were. Because here's the thing. For real. Again, one of my biggest issues with Jedi is that their on-screen appearances have never really lived up to the ninja / samurai swordplay and so forth that they really were supposed to have. And at the time, Phantom Menace and so forth, like, you got to see that a little bit.
Yes,
there's some decent fight, like Ray Park and Darth Maul, like, being a thing. You get a little something, but it's not where it should be. Like, it's not what you can get to really see in animation or what have you. Like, the stories of Jedi and what they can do, you never really get to see on screen. You never really get to see the Jedi be as strong and as powerful as you really want. Like, if you go back and you play that game, man, and you look at, like, what Starkiller could do, like him literally pulling down
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Star Destroyer, like, out of the sky, dog. Like, you don't see, like, nobody does that in film. There's nobody with that kind of power for real. But those are the things that Jedi are supposed to be able to do. It's all still myth, because by the time you really get to the Phantom Menace, they are way outside of that golden era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Ty,
you're missing the
Ty
point. We're talking about who's cooler. That is it.
Yeah, like, nah, like, let me ask you a question. For all of us in who are watching or who are in the comments or whatever right now, again, Ahsoka Tano, great. Shown very recently, and that's part of my issue, is that what we saw Ahsoka Tano do in The Mandalorian over like a 2-minute span is better
than the
fight choreography and whatever than we've really seen Jedis do for the most part throughout all of the movies. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, right now, we're on the cusp of them being able to really make Jedi as cool as they've always talked about Jedi really being. Like, we can see it. They can actually do it. So, listen.
But we're talking about live action films.
Yeah, like,
he said, Clone Wars was, they had some fire.
Animated stuff, like, they was able to do stuff.
Like we said, the animated stuff is dope.
But in real life,
the
just
live
never...
action got to get up there with it. That's all.
For me, the best on screen in any way, shape, or form Jedi activity is Mace Windu, animated Clone Wars, Genndy Tartakovsky literally wrecking the droid army.
Oh yeah, that thing was
and
amazing.
crushing Grievous' chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like those moments, him literally just opening his hand, all the nuts and bolts come out of that joint. Using all them joints to rip and shred through all the rest of it. Like, that's what I'm talking. Like, that's what I want to see. They are in a position right now to make Jedi that cool. There's never been better Jedi activity than that. That you've been able to actually see on screen. And here's the thing. So for all of us that are like viewing in the chat, so forth right now, again, you're right with Boba Fett. Boba Fett always talked about as this badass bounty hunter, blah, blah, blah. But for real, go back and watch those movies.
Yeah, you don't really see it in the movie.
Garbage.
You don't see it.
Couple shots that he does.
He wasn't dope in books, or he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But like, technically, for what the majority of people saw, what the outside viewing public that is really coming into this pop culture phenomenon that has existed for like 40 years, they're in a position to really do something with it. And when I say that, I mean make kids care about Jedi. Not one single solitary little boy who's growing up, who's learning some Jedi abilities, but doesn't really have masterful masters to actually teach them how to do it. I'm talking full Jedi temples full of people getting it in, like a kung fu movie where you're in the temple, you know what I'm saying? Learning your kung fu from the kung fu masters, establishing the 36 chambers. Like, we're in a position to really see some Jedi activity that like we've never seen before. And I think they're really positioning Jedi. If they do it right, Jedi could really be superhero status. Because you're going to have a hard time finding kids that love any Jedi that you can name better than they love any number of superheroes. Pick a Batman, pick a Superman, pick a Wonder Woman, pick a Spider-Man, pick a Captain America, choose an Iron Man. But I think that there's a plan in place here that is going to work.
I agree.
Right.
See, this makes me more excited for the Acolyte now.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, like, you're right, BP. Like, them really digging into, and again, like, they've begun to, like, introduce force powers that, like, maybe we heard about but didn't really see, or, you know, whatever. Like, the kinds of things that not everybody can do exactly the same things with the force, but everybody, everybody who has it has it. Like, I think they are really in a position to open that up. You know what I mean? And really make it exciting and make people care. No, everybody can't be superhero status. But I don't know if there is a contingent of people out there who feel like Qui-Gon's short-lived movie status versus Darth Maul's short-lived movie status. Like, people don't care that Qui-Gon didn't make it the same way they care that Darth Maul didn't make it, because Darth Maul was infinitely cooler.
And it got shafted.
Yeah. Both of them in the same movie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like, they died at almost the same time in the same movie. One of them has way less screen time, and people just wanted more of that character. Enough that they brought that character back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, please don't spoil it. But
yeah, don't do that. That's nice. That's nice to hear, though.
True. Yeah.
Hey, dog. Hey, you right, Ty. Hey, listen, I've been trying to figure it out.
Hey, Ty, you need to shut the hell up.
I've been trying to figure it out. I've been like, no, this dude look like somebody, but I ain't been able to figure it out. You are so right.
I don't.
Just need to change hats.
It's tricky.
Just need to change hats, and you got it.
Tricky. Hey, listen.
We ain't letting that one fly. No, sir.
Just say it's tricky. Just one time.
Nah. No.
Like we're running that.
Hell no. Hell no.
Hey, dog, listen, you just got to take that one. It's facts. Yeah, man. Listen. The point is, I'm super excited. You know what I mean? Like, currently, based on this, I'm actually more excited about Star Wars than I have been in a long time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm much more hopeful right now. because based on what they have already done with Marvel, I feel like the plan that they seem like they are putting together or that they have in place for Star Wars is ripe. Like it's ready to go. Like what they've been doing with the comic books very recently, going back and telling those stories. Because again, you don't ever really get to see Vader be a badass in film. You just don't. They talk about it. You never see
all these things that he can do.
Like he force chokes a dude.
That's it.
That's about it. You know what I mean? Except
way back then,
like Rogue One, you get that brief moment, which they were able to recreate in a TV show like a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like that. Yeah, like I want to see, like, cause, yeah, you're right. They made it fun again. Like that's the point. It's like we so past Rey and Kylo or whatever at this point.
That just throw it away.
I'm so excited for all this new stuff. With all the stuff they announced, all the new shows and movies they got coming, and then seeing how they're gonna fall into this timeline they just dropped in us. I'm with you 100%. I think they're in their groove. They kind of know what they're doing now with it, how they're gonna do it.
Trying to expand the universe.
Yeah, the direction they're headed.
My favorite thing about it is that it's like they have an actual plan. You know what I'm saying?
You would think,
we have a 10-year plan or whatever it is to start doling out content and making it work. And as we see things work, kind of, working with that. And somewhere between what they're doing with Disney Plus and having those shows and those offshoots, the possibility of doing new movies, which we know are coming.
Right.
I just think, yeah, hey, look, like I said, like Vader in books, way better than Vader
on screen.
On film, on screen. You're right. So I want to see that. Like I want to see them really kind of take that and go for it. So
maybe we'll see it. Like now that we know, Hayden Christensen is going to be reprising Vader in the Obi-Wan show. Maybe we'll see Vader do something on screen. Like I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but like this will be the one. I know this will be the one opportunity that they can have, and at least make him do a couple things. Even if they don't make him do the world of things in here, it only takes a few instances of him doing something like you say, Star Killer pulling a Star Destroyer out of space to the planet. If we see Vader do something like that just a couple of times, just to show this sheer strength, whether it's him about to fight, say like Obi-Wan, he's like, look, I can crush you. Like I can do this. I can crush you in an instant.
Right.
Like, that's all it's going to take.
No, I think they're going to have Vader get busy. I think they're going to have Vader get busy.
I agree. All right, listen. Unfortunately, we need to talk about DC right now.
What about him?
Not because so like a few days back, like right after Wonder Woman released, and this was kind of overshadowed by how bad Wonder Woman was. Which again, Wonder Woman is a bad movie. And the fact that they're doing a third movie is a problem for me. But because of this announcement that we're getting ready to talk about, it might not be anything close to what we think it is or what it was going to be. So let's just kind of dig into this because there was an interview in the New York Post, I believe. It was terrible. I don't even know what that means, and I like it. Like, I don't know if you did that on purpose and it's supposed to be terrible, but I like it. So Walter Hamada, who is he runs DC Films. Basically, they have decided that starting in 2022, they are going to release 6 films per year. Okay? 6 DCEU films per year. Okay? 4 full-on, high-expense movie theater movies starting in 2022, and 2 straight to HBO Max for like smaller characters like Static Shock, something along those lines. So 6 full films per year. Okay. They are going to be working with.
That was that
Hey, listen.
Kanye house.
Right, Mark.
That was that Kanye houseway.
Right.
So here's the thing. They are also going to be working with the filmmakers to create offshoots from the films into TV adaptations.
Okay, like
for
they're doing,
HBO Max.
like they're doing with Suicide Squad.
Correct. They are also specifically introducing the multiverse on the piggybacking on what they did with Crisis on TV. Literally meaning that they are going to have multiple versions of the same character in different films. Even if they're played by different actors, like what they're doing with Batman right now with like Robert Pattinson, possibly having Michael Keaton,
Marcus,
possibly having like
stop.
And you know what?
Stop it.
Hey, Soulja Boy got paid, man. You are right. K to the Sean. They are getting smashed by Marvel, but they are. You know what? We're gonna talk numbers, as a matter of fact, on that, because
is it though, Ty?
we can like.
I mean, here's the thing: they got to do something.
They
okay,
do.
They have to do something. And they need to make HBO Max. They need to make HBO Max work. So I want to kind of just look at a couple of things. 2018, they had Joker and Shazam. I'm sorry. That was 2 years ago. No, that was the year before that. 2019. So 2018 was just Aquaman. But they did like crazy numbers with those movies. And I think they definitely did more than they expected with Shazam.
Yeah.
Which kind of told them that there was an opportunity there if they do things right. Shazam, when we talked the other day about Wonder Woman, I was like, Aquaman right now is sitting at the top DC movie, but for real,
it's still Shazam for me.
Shazam is actually the best one. If you don't count Joker, because technically
Joker's not even in that continuity anyway, so
I mean,
who knows what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because of the success of it, they may decide to throw him in there.
But here's what we're looking at. So over the last decade, Warner Brothers has generated $8 billion worldwide in superhero ticket sales. That includes the $36 million they made from Wonder Woman 1984 a couple weeks ago. But Marvel has taken $20.6 billion. So $8 billion versus $20.6 billion in the last decade. They clearly have some work to do. And with what they're trying to do with HBO Max right now, even though it is much newer than Netflix, like HBO Max has like 12 million subscribers, almost 13 million subscribers. But Netflix has like 195. And Disney Plus is like 80 million subscribers.
Okay.
So they are way outpacing HBO Max. Again, Disney Plus is a year old. But when you have the kind of competition that exists in that streaming service space, with now you have Peacock on top of Hulu, on top of whatever's going to happen with Crunchyroll, on top of Amazon Prime, on top of Vudu, J. Robert Dean's, on top of Vudu, again, that landscape is more and more crowded. But they have ownership over so much property that if they leverage it the right way, they could see those numbers really grow. And if they're probably, honestly, their best bet for making that happen is making the DC films that important. 6 movies a year, starting in 2022, which I'm going to be real with you, I feel like they're only pushing it to 2022 because they have already announced that through 2021, everything they release is coming
right.
straight to HBO Max.
Right.
If they are, whether or not that remains a thing or not will depend on what this pandemic continues to look like.
Absolutely.
But clearly there has to be a plan if you intend to put out that many movies. If you put out 6 movies that are straight to theater, 2 of them that are HBO Max, but then you are going to have TV shows that go to HBO Max that intertwine with those movies as they release, well, then it gives you a reason to have HBO Max, even if you're not saying, well, we're doing day and date with the movie release.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, from a business standpoint, this is their best Hail Mary, I think. I don't know if it's actually a good idea or if they can pull it off. What I can tell you is that it looks like Scott Snyder's probably not going to be... I mean, look. Yeah, I know I don't really mess with the Snyderverse. I'm not excited about the Snyder Cut. I think that his involvement is hurting them more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
If we see a Constantine... Again, here's what you got to remember is that now if we're talking multiverse...
We got 2 of them.
You have 2 Constantines. So what they do and how they do it, you know what I mean? Like, literally, from today, we are 10 days away from WandaVision. Kicking it off for this year. If this year goes anywhere near according to what Disney's plan is for Marvel, DC will be way behind if they don't start this until 2022.
Yeah.
So they need these plans and they need them to be in action right now. Like right now. I don't know if like the Robert Pattinson Batman looks good to me. Like I'm on board for that right now.
I mean, hopefully with all the stuff they got coming out this year, it's enough to, you know what I'm saying, hold over until they can get to 2022 when they
It's
start.
not even the fact if it's enough. It's got to come out and it's just got to be quality. That's the piece of it.
That's what I mean by hold up. Like it has to
That's
be.
what it means by enough. Yeah, it's got to be quality.
It's got to be good. Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the spinoff with Peacemaker or whatever. You haven't seen it yet. Like, I like what they're trying. Like, okay, I get to know the character and look forward to something else coming out. But it's.
I'm gonna tell you what my biggest concern is.
What?
I don't see or know if there is a real plan for these movies. Have to be movies. They can't be worse than a PG-13 rating. They have to manage a younger audience. They have to. They will never be able to compete with what Disney is doing if they are unable to pull in a younger audience that then stays with these characters for the rest of their lives. We just talked about what Disney is doing with Star Wars and them really being in a position to take advantage of making Jedi cool to kids, boys and girls. If they can't make Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Static Shock, whoever it is they decide to do, whatever it is, if they can't make those characters matter and or be important to children, it won't matter what they do. They will never catch up. It's that simple. Disney has managed to come up with and work an understanding of what it takes to capture an audience that is younger than 13, create product for them that parents are going to pay a subscription service for their kids to be able to watch those shows that are tied in to a larger universe. Mm-hmm. So when they see Spider-Man, they see Spider-Man. All the Spider-Mans. If they see Captain America, it doesn't matter if it's an animated version. It doesn't matter if it's the live action version. They struggle with that a little bit. If you remember when they took the Earth's Mightiest Hero show, which was a brilliant show, and they canceled it and took it off the air because those characters didn't look enough like the ones that they had on the movies.
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to ever be able to compete with what it is that Disney is doing if they don't find a way. Listen, you're doing a Suicide Squad spinoff TV show. You're doing a The Batman spinoff TV show, which is cool. But it's not going to be for kids. Right? I mean, would you imagine that Superman and Lois, CW, coming in like a month, is that going to be for kids? Is that going to get kids to care about Superman?
Nah, no, not at all.
No. At all. See, when I was a kid, Super Friends was on TV. I cared about Superman and Batman and Aquaman. I thought talking to fish was cool. Because I was little and I ain't know no better. I knew all the villains. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I knew Giganta. I was excited about the Wonder Twins, which, let's be real, kind of garbage. But let's be real.
Hey.
Like,
yeah, but
they are a staple.
They got you in there when you was young.
Straight up. Because I had a sister.
Yep.
And me and my sister with Wonder Twin powers activate. What is DC going to do?
Well, they do have the Batmobile kid show coming out.
So listen,
it's there.
It is.
Hey, listen, man. I'm sure you ain't never been slapped on a bare face because your face been so full of hair for so long. But right now,
hey, I figured bring it up because it is a thing that they are doing, and they announced.
Yeah, but they got to figure, because the other thing too is, as much as we love the CW shows, they're getting to their end. I'm sorry. I love the Flash. I do. But just like Gage said, like, it's literally rehashing the same type of villain, the same type of thing every single season. We're doing the same thing, going back in time. I get it. He can run fast. He can do those type of things. The CW, that universe it's dwindling down. And understand we're getting new shows. No Batwoman. We're getting season 2. I'm eager to see how that goes. But
me too.
The CW they got to build somehow, because that universe is slowly going out the door. Legends of Tomorrow, The Anomaly, I like the show, but I don't think they quite know what to do with it, because it exists outside of everything. Like, yeah, they help save the day for a crossover here and there, but I just feel like they're just like the evil stepchildren. They just don't know what to do with it, so they just stuck them all on the ship.
Yeah, it's been
just here,
factually, if you look at what's happening in the comments now, mentioning like Teen Titans Go, Young Justice, right? Teen Titans Go is phenomenal. That show is phenomenal.
People can hate on that. Like, I'm sorry, I hated on it in the beginning.
Phenomenal. But Young Justice is not for kids. It's not. It's just not for kids. There's a reason why Young Justice originally ran on Saturday mornings on Cartoon Network and didn't work. And they pulled it. Because they were running a show that wasn't... You can't run a show that is as serious as Young Justice next to Uncle Grandpa. You can't. It's not the same thing. Like, you're not even, because Young Justice is the kind of show that, even though it's cool and it has superheroes and it looked really good and it was well acted and well animated and so forth, it doesn't have the kind of stuff that they're looking for on a Saturday morning. Like, that's not those kids.
That's
Young
why
Justice
they did what they did
really
with Toonami.
Belongs with the rest of the DC animated films, which again are not for kids. The only thing they really had is Teen Titans Go, and let's talk about that for a second, because as much as I love Teen Titans Go, they almost tried to use Teen Titans Go to make Teen Titans cool enough to do another show like the original Teen Titans show, which they probably actually ended up not doing because Young Justice didn't work. Which didn't work because the original Teen Titans show also not really for kids. That show was way better on late night Toonami than it ever would have been on afternoon Toonami.
That's what I was saying.
Too brooding, too much seriousness going on with Slade.
That's why they shift the whole Toonami. We used that was my come home from school was Toonami.
Sure.
But now with the way it is, they can't fit it on normal Cartoon Network. So it's like, yeah, guys, let's just put it on at 12 midnight and run it through 5 in the morning. Like, as much as most of those animes I have in some shape or form that I can access, but they had to move it into that weird time versus just being on during the day.
Listen, Kayshawn,
I was like, and I was just kind of like,
I'm only gonna say this one more time, bro. Teen Titans Go is a phenomenal show. You don't.
How much have you watched?
Dislike the show.
That's
you don't actually dislike the show. You are simply hating on the show. That show, cause trust me, I was in that boat. Bro, I wasn't just in that boat. I was captain of that boat, bro.
I was right there with you. How to be your first mate on?
Was out like, nah, dog, y'all not doing this to Teen Titans. It's garbage. No, sir. All it took was one song. Girl,
which one?
Girl, you so amazing. Hey, listen.
Don't start that.
They really, and again, they do stuff though that really is for us, even in Teen Titans Go. Because for a character like Cyborg to have an obsession with Green Lantern, get his hands on Green Lantern's ring, and the only thing he ever does with that joint is create the Golden Girls. They don't know who the Golden Girls are. But yo, my man be talking about B. Arthur body environments all the time.
Catching villains in
Nobody
fire, Marcus.
They have no idea, young. Like, it's a stupid show that's really funny. However,
very funny.
If Teen Titans, let's say Teen Titans Go is bad. If Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls is the best you can do to try to pull in a younger audience, then this plan ain't gonna work. That's where I'm at. If these films are not PG-13, these heroes are cool. One of the best things about Shazam is that for the most part, it really, anybody could go in and watch that and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't super dark and crazy and brooding or whatever. It was cool and it was fun because it was about a kid who gets superhero abilities.
Right.
I don't think that there is. I'm afraid that there's not a good plan in place for them to actually be able to compete on a necessary scale to pull subscribers into HBO Max and make it important enough for adults to tune into it. That's just because, again, when you say the name HBO, like HBO has Sesame Street. Like, they own Sesame Street.
True.
They have used, listen, and let me tell you what they've been doing wrong with Sesame Street. If y'all look, just go on YouTube right now and look up, like, Sesame Street Sopranos. Like, they take the characters
I remember they did that with Game of Thrones.
Act out like,
and I'm like, why are y'all
HBO shows
this?
Like, dog, that's not a crossover joint. Like, you don't use those characters to get, like, whose ideas are these? Fire all of them. Fire all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't see Mickey Mouse running around in tights and or a cape, displaying powers, talking to the superheroes. Like, Disney has done a great job of actually keeping those things separated from one another. That was one of the biggest fears, right? Was that, they're going to turn it into all this. And you can see some really cool stuff, like Mickey Mouse in the Jedi role with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's
about the extent
somebody
of it.
made.
Yeah.
There's no, they didn't make shows, and you know what I mean? Like, that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, their issue, outside of the fact that they're already going to continue to have issues with print, because now you don't even really have a strong print media to back up what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they get the kids? Like, I don't even watch a Guardians of the Galaxy show, Spider-Man shows. Like, those shouldn't exist. They do. They have multiple seasons because kids are watching them.
Yes, they are.
Because they make an entire channel on cable dedicated to it. Disney XD. This the boys' Disney Channel. Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just flip ABC Family. Now we're just doing this joint called Freeform. We're not really doing family joints anymore. If you want family stuff, you know what you need to do? Subscribe to Disney Plus. Like, they had that planned out a long time ago. A long time ago. And right now, the best reasons to subscribe to Disney Plus are probably, I mean, not Disney Plus, HBO Max.
Right.
Are probably Lovecraft Country. And the Fresh Prince Reunion.
Fresh Prince Reunion.
As far as what's on there, probably, yeah.
Listen, there's stuff on there I watch all the time. I mean, again, they just put Young Justice on there not that long ago. Like, Young Justice just showed up. Like, I want to say within, like, the last 2 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Because I was in there, bruh. Like, we were like, oh, yeah, let's go. They just put the original Batman the Animated Series on there.
Yep, just saw that.
Yeah.
You know how many seasons there are Batman the Animated Series? Anybody? You know how many seasons?
4?
5?
It's like 6.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6.
You know how many seasons are on HBO Max?
5 or 6. Oh, the original 3. Is it the
3.
original 3 or the last 3?
Nah, it's the first 3.
First 3? Okay.
It's the first 3.
Yeah,
Raised by the Wolves cool. I don't know if you subscribe for that. See, I think you subscribe for something else and you stay for Raised by the Wolves. Like you know what I mean? Like you go ahead and watch that. But I don't know if they're really gonna pull that up. Like,
nah, DC gonna have to show us this year that they can, make good content.
if they are very meticulous about creating content for kids that pulls them in. Again, the Harley Quinn conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
Super popular, super cool to a lot of girls. None of them can watch the show. None of them.
Yeah.
That show is so Adult Swim.
Very.
So what are you doing? Black Lightning. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. All right, let me blaspheme for a second. Static Shock, so. Wasn't that great of a show. It was cool though. Like I understood there was a lot of people who liked it, but for what it is, I'm very happy that particular character got an animated show that lasted for as long as it did. But even that was on the outskirts, like they almost didn't treat it like it was part of the rest of that animated universe, again, because of the way that it came in to DC.
Then after a while, they decided to merge in, bring in the Justice League, doing all that within.
But that all happened after that show was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Static Shock was on TV at the same time as X-Men the Animated Series. So
didn't stand a chance against that one.
Come on, man. Hey, listen, Ty hurt. Look at him. Hurt.
Yeah.
Look at him. Nah, it's really, go back and watch it. It's okay. But currently, I put Jackie Chan Adventures above Static Shock.
Ooh, I love Jackie Chan Adventures.
Jackie Chan Adventures is, and that is the team that did the Batman, the animated joint, and
I do know
that joint, fire, and way more for kids than most of the other stuff that DC has done, as far as animation is concerned.
One more thing.
Hey, listen.
Never seen it.
Hey, no.
You need to fix yourself.
Never seen that joint.
You need to fix yourself.
Get hip, boy. Jackie.
Oh, man. Gotta get them talismans.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, JCA. I'm with it. I'm very, very happy about Static Shock getting a show that lasted the way it did. And it eventually getting a tie-in to the DC animated shows, that Batman animated series, Superman animated series. Mm-hmm. Hey, dog, listen.
Man, we ruined his birthday week.
Hey, K-Sean. Hey, Ty. Man, if you want to go watch Static Shock for your birthday, go watch your birthday.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Hey, listen, facts.
Jackie.
That's it. That joint fire, bro. Like, come on, man.
Oh man,
got nothing for y'all.
Hey, you know what else? What was that joint with the 4? It was an animated show. This is
I think I know what you're going to.
With the 4 like martial arts people in the
Shaolin Showdown.
Shaolin Showdown, bro. Hey, listen, I wanted to hate that joint.
I couldn't do it.
That joint actually got a little bit of fire to it. That joint actually all right, man. I used to watch that joint right after Digimon. Anyway, which again, I'm Digimon over Pokemon. So like y'all can hate me for what I like.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm so old school, man. Come on, man. I'm like original Thundercats and He-Man and all that jazz. So like when it comes to cartoons and Saturday mornings and all that, me and Sam watching Wish Kid. Macaulay Culkin had his own
God, I forgot about that.
Hey, listen.
Wish Kid.
If I say Bobby's World and the theme song don't immediately pop in your head, I don't even know why you did.
Classic.
There it is, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Straight up.
Oh man.
My 11-year-old walked in the room singing "Fish That Don't Stink" from Bobby's World the other day and humming the main theme song. Like, hey, that jump fire, man. I think DC got a lot of work to do. Hey, listen, before we get out of here, what? Bionic 6? Ooh. Listen, jokes don't know nothing about that. But Bionic 6? Fire, bro. Yeah. I had all of the toys, dog. And their names was garbage. Sports One. Like, their names was garbage, dog. But that show was fire, dog. Smallville.
Garbage.
Come on, bro. Hey, listen, you know what? I will give credence to the idea that a Superman show can exist where Superman doesn't actually have any power. Sort of. Because the idea of an underpowered Superman actually sounds better to me than the overpowered, superpowered Superman that we get throughout everything else. Which, again, one of the issues with Wonder Woman and trying to make movies work for her, there's nobody for her to fight. Nobody for her to fight. She's too strong. They gave her too many powers. And them action figures, dog. Them joints had like the clear plastic, like biceps or whatever, with the color, with the heavy die cast metal. What? Throw one of them joints at your little brother.
I was say that
you getting in trouble, bro, for a week.
That is a charge. You hit somebody with one of those, you are going to jail.
Just like original Transformers.
What? That's a murder weapon.
Die-cast metal, though.
Hey, I know y'all give me flack for Beast Wars, but that Optimal Optimus joint, if you throw that at someone, that's a crime.
That joint is made out of plastic, dog.
Nah, that joint had die-cast parts to it. Or I think I don't know if they released two versions after one. Of course you would say that. That Optimal Optimus will hurt.
Ty, stop playing with me.
What do you mean Superman is not overpowered?
See,
dog,
now we got
they gave my man the ability to absorb the sun and literally just destroy anything. Like, I don't even know where
they made Superman into Goku. They gave this dude a spirit bomb. They gave this dude a spirit bomb, yeah? That turns him into a human for 3 days after he uses it. If you don't get Carson,
he just trolling.
How old are you turning for your birthday? Because I don't listen. Yeah, G1 Transformers G, straight up. Original Optimus. Hey, that original Optimus, dog, with the trailer, dog, and man, what? Then I got me a Pepsi joint.
Oh, sweet.
I got me a Pepsi Optimus too. Fire, dog. Ultra Magnus, all plastic.
OG2 for Voltron with the shoe.
Hey, listen.
Dog, I got that joint. It's in my closet somewhere.
Straight up. My birthday, y'all. My parents got me all the lions individually wrapped, dog. By the time I got to that last black lion, Slim, I was, what? You couldn't tell me nothing, Slim.
I mean, it was ready to form Voltron.
I didn't want to talk to nobody.
I'm about to say, yeah, he wouldn't open no other gifts or nothing. Like, I'm good. I got Voltron.
They saved those for last. They were smart enough to save those for last. Okay. Those were the last things I opened. But once that was like, what you mean it's still party? Nah, it's no party's over. I have things to do.
This
You know
is all that matters right here.
Jay Rob with the vehicle force.
I was never into the vehicles, but listen, all them old school joints, Centurions, Mask, man, we had some terrible joints too, though. Brave Star, garbage. That joint was garbage. Captain Power was dope though, cause you could play against the screen.
Yeah,
cause you could shoot the screen. That joint was tight. That was almost like VR compared to now. So like that joint was incredible, dog. Like I'm shooting the screen. Like yeah, nah, that joint was incredible. Hey, listen, Battle of the Planets, man.
G-Force making
100%. G-Force, man.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Used to love that joint. That actually used to come on like when I lived in Philly. That used to come on right before He-Man. Come home from school and just straight up loved it. Okay, so we're running late, but I'm gonna do this anyway. I just want to take a minute to highlight some of our favorite things from 2020. Things that happened pop culture wise. I've already mentioned one of them. One of them for me is Lovecraft Country. Followed by, and here's the thing. It is pop culture. It's outside of what we normally talk about. But listen. Earlier last year, every week, I had to get in front of a screen so I could watch this documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls, dog. Every week, bro. The Last Dance was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And as a championship Bulls era NBA fan, nothing better. Nothing better than watching that. I can watch that joint over and over and over and over and over again. That's actually one of my favorite things of everything that happened last year. Everything that came out that was on TV in some way, streaming, whatever, like, that joint was incredible. Like, going back and rewatching those old games. And it was just like, man, I don't even know why people still watching NBA now. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's this good. Nobody. And I was hoping for a split second that watching Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight would be like close to that again.
Nah, it wasn't.
Not even a little bit.
When I originally heard they told them they couldn't knock each other out. They couldn't. I was like, oh, this gonna be some garbage.
I mean, yeah. Hey, listen, man, we didn't miss Ready Player One.
I know I did.
I don't think Ready Player One deserved to be in the top 10 movies of the last decade.
It's a lot of ground to cover.
Maybe that year. What year did that come out? What year? Maybe that year it came out, but nah, not decade though. Don't get me wrong. I love the bringing in all the universes and different things under one roof. Seeing actually seeing RX-78 Gundam live action on screen. Like, yes, that was a moment, but. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just when you gotta go through a decade of movies, it just didn't,
it just didn't quite make it there.
So,
hey Heather, you right. But instead, what they did was they had the Muppets do Hamilton, which isn't bad. But if the Muppets had done The Sopranos,
that would have been gold.
Hey, who's the best Muppet? There's only two correct answers.
I've never.
Gonzo, maybe?
Hey, listen. Super Gonzo's better than regular Gonzo.
Man, Ralph.
Nobody trolling, man. What you mean?
I'm going to say Ralph because he was the coolest. He was on them keys.
Rolf?
Yeah.
That's one. That's one acceptable answer. Is Rolf. The other one's Animal.
Okay.
And maybe Dr. T.
so everybody on the instruments.
Dr. T, technically, that man was technically George Clinton.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's like George Clinton and Elton John rolled into one hammer. Yeah.
Darth
All
Kermit.
Electric Mayhem is fire, yeah. But like, Animal always been my favorite Muppet. But Rolf Cool is I don't know what. Rolf is cool. I give him a little something. Statler and Waldorf, I'm with that. Because they really just talk the most trash about the most. Like, they are literally, like, you are literally them in the comments, J. Robert, anytime we're talking about animated movie. Like, it's literally like
pretty much
just sitting in the joint trolling, just up in the balcony,
go
straight up. I got a soft spot for Beaker.
I can see that.
And the chef at least had his own cereal. So look, listen, Heather, I think being a god is pretty serious though. It's just less. So the thing about the big comparison when it comes to me personally for DC and Marvel is that Marvel tends to have characters that are more grounded. Yes, they are characters that have super abilities, superpowers, but they still have real life crap going on. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking about, oh, I'm in love crap and that's it. Right? Like, yes, Spider-Man has to worry about how his rent's going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Can he keep his job? How I'm going to take these pictures? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And like, those kinds of things. And there are a lot of characters that don't have that. Like, Professor X got a lot of money. Like a lot of secret money. Like, I don't know where Professor X gets his money. Mm-hmm. We might need to investigate. I'm sure my man got some tax fraud in his background.
Oh, he got something going on. Sure.
But what I can tell you is, anybody who came looking for him, he can just make him forget it.
Yep.
He might not even have, like, for real, he might not even have money. He just might make everybody think he has money.
He's tricking the bank.
Y'all ever seen Firestarter? You remember the movie Firestarter?
Forever.
Drew Barrymore was like 6. And she could set crap on fire. And her father had powers too. And the father was like a semi-criminal. And at one point they get in the back of this taxi cab and he hands the cab driver like a $1 bill. But he could do this thing with his mind where he makes him think that the dollar bill is a $100 bill. But when he does it, it makes his nose bleed. That's the kind of suffrage I'm talking about. Like with Marvel. Like in DC, everybody's a god. The Justice League, young, they're literally all gods. Except
and
for
Batman.
And one dude.
and God. Would argue that he's a god.
And a super cop.
Hey, they gave him the Mobius chair, so he technically became a god at one point in time.
Eventually. and listen, and didn't know what to do with the power. Can you imagine? Can you imagine for a second, real talk, how out of control Batman would be if he had Superman's power?
Where Superman,
like
Superman
for real,
would
like if
stop.
you really think about like how Batman acts in like Injustice towards Superman, when Superman's just like, you know what, I'm shutting all this down. Yo, if Batman had Superman's power, way worse. It's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, the world would be a much better place if Batman, because ain't no one stepping out of line.
Stepping out of line, everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. It's a god, world's finest. Man, that dude is. He's a crooked cop. Batman is a crooked cop out there in the streets delivering his own justice. Having secret rendezvous with the police chief, making his own deals in back rooms, sneaking in and having coffee with my man, jumping in and out of his window, sleeping with his daughter, who's also his son's girlfriend. That's the nastiest dude. Stop slicing Batman like that, man. Don't play with me, dog. I will put Batman in the dirt for y'all for the rest of y'all lives. Y'all won't be able to like Batman no more. No more.
Oh,
how can you like a dude?
Because I do.
Who is sleeping with his best friend's daughter, who also happens to be his adopted son's girlfriend. Y'all just talk to me about that.
He is savage.
Run it for me real quick.
Let's have that conversation.
Run it for me real quick. Tell me that's not the most trifling dude in DC.
Hey, yo, Bruce.
Don't do this to me.
Slept with Barbara.
Batman is God level, man. That dude is despicable, Slim. Despicable. Little boys in tights, sliding down poles, hiding in caves. Despicable. But we can't kill Joker. Even though Joker gonna murder a lot of people, it's more important to reform Joker than it is to make sure these people don't die.
It ain't complicated. It's the only thing I give Soups that he did.
Is it complicated though? Because I know that's what his Facebook status says. It's complicated. But ask Nightwing if it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? Ask him. Ask him. For that matter, ask Damian Wayne if it's complicated. That's Damian.
God. Damian, well, oh God.
Bad father to his real son, to both his fake sons. Let one of them die. Stole the other joint girlfriend. Like, who is this dude, young?
I'm Batman.
Batman is straight savage.
My man money is all tied up in offshore accounts. Literally all his money come from overseas. He got no taxes. Like, stop playing with me, dog. Stop playing with me. Batman is a criminal. He's a criminal.
Nah.
Hey, dog. Hey, listen. I don't gotta respect Batman. I ain't scared of him because I know how to get his utility belt off. Once that joint come off, he garbage. Hands and all.
All right.
Hey, listen, they say that Batman is literally the best fighter in all of DC. In all the DC universe, they say he the best fighter. That's why he better than Slade, which makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense.
Hey, he got them hands.
No.
He got them hands.
Slade has a super soldier serum.
Hey, it ain't enough.
Hey,
Hey, listen, stop playing with me, dog.
That's facts. That's facts.
The only thing they didn't really do is give Batman Superman's powers. Because if they basically do the same thing, they just make something up for him. Which is the same thing they do with Wonder Woman. We can't just be having her flying around this jet.
She flying now.
Let's have Steve Trevor just wish her the ability to fly. Hey, dog. Yeah, listen. Y'all make me mad when y'all bring up Batman, man. Stop acting like that guy's so good. That guy's not good. That guy is bad. He's pretty. He's pretty bad.
Batman rock.
And he let Nightwing walk around with a mullet. He should have told him to cut that joint.
Nah. Nah, go ahead, wear your little mullet. You're not supposed to be sitting
He
there
should have fried him,
anyway.
Nah, I feel like
he just him like, that's why I got your girl.
I feel like he probably
got that mullet on. Like, why
he probably was gonna say something. He just stopped himself. He was like, "Hey, yo, you know what? Never mind.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
Never
Just go
mind.
ahead. Go say the shit."
Cool.
No, I didn't try to tell your ass about this.
Nah, dog. Wonder Woman not better than Batman. Not with the hands. Not with the hands. And that's the problem.
She just has a sheer strength.
She trained her entire life to be a warrior goddess. If you look at the it was one of those most recent runs in Batman where they were getting ready to set up for like the 3 Jokers. And they had to do it. I can't think of his name, man. He had like the all-white mask and he basically was dead. And Catwoman was like trying to hack into all of his offshore accounts so she could steal his money. So that basically so Joker could kill Batman and then she would have all of his money and she would basically act like the bank for all the criminals. And that's how they found out that like, and this man don't have no money. Like this his money don't come from nothing here. Like all his money coming from somewhere else. And she transferred all the money to the Joker. She made the Joker a billionaire. Like it was crazy. She made Joker a billionaire. And this dude was fighting Slade. Actually, he wasn't fighting. He was fighting. I can't think of the other dude's name. Some new dude. It don't really matter. Something stupid. Sort of like The Question, which is a dumb name. And then he is Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Facts.
And do nothing with her because he's too busy. Prowling the streets at night. Unless she's out there with him, being a Batgirl. And Slade stabbed him in the leg. Like they was going toe to toe. And he was like, Slade was telling him, like, this is just a distraction. He was like, I know it's a distraction. I know it's a distraction. Shut up, Batman. Now come on and fight me. That's what he said. Slade was bodying him. But he put the hands on him. And he really shouldn't be able to beat Slade. But technically, they say in that joint that technically Batman is the best technical fighter in the DC universe.
Okay.
which is why he can beat somebody like Slade. He can beat Slade and Cheshire and Sportsmaster all together. Shut up. Just shut up. You're a cop. You're an unsanctioned popo.
With them hands, though.
5-0.
Hey, we can't license those hands, so yeah.
Out there writing tickets. This man would really be on rooftops chasing dudes down, talking about citizens arrest. Like,
I swear, if I ever heard Batman yell out citizens arrest, I would lose it. Oh my gosh.
Police Academy. What are you talking about?
Dude, that sounds like a robot chicken moment.
It does. It does. Citizens arrest.
He's terrible, man. He's terrible. Anyway, you know what? Forget these moments from 2020. See, you got a job to do, man. It's 9:30.
All right, let's shout out our top 10 patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dorsch, and Tyrone Carson. We appreciate it very, very much. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Facts from Gage and Jokes and Shaving Sin. Jokes, you got a job to do. Would you please?
Yep. In the chat.
He got 3 black people in the Bat family in prominent positions. Sir, they are just working for him. They just work for him. Come on, Lucius.
Because one of them couldn't even get his own bat name. They had to name him Batwing. They had to name him after the.
No, they named him after the. Come on, no.
They couldn't even come up with a fancy name for him. Just name him Batwing.
Named after the plane. Okay.
Ty, are you falling for that? Are you falling for that affirmative action bat family? Like, is that where we are?
All right, Dean, have a good night.
He do. J. Roberts, have a good one.
I gave Ricardo Diaz got some hands, but I still think Batman's gonna body him.
Hey, listen, he be sneaking up. Listen, it's just Bane, yeah. Bane do be breaking my man back. But he the best fighter. Stop it. They just be making up stuff, man. Listen, for those of y'all who are following us in one spot, not following us in another, if you would do us the favor and follow us in all of them, that would be so wonderful. You can hit that Linktree link. Again, I do want me go ahead and just do a little something. Jokes.
Yo.
What's your favorite moment from 2020? Getting the Xbox Series X? Is that what it was?
And that's one. I mean, for me, kind of the release, like always, all good things sadly have to come to an end at some point in time. We finally got that last Digimon movie that came out, Last Evolution Kazuna. And I gotta say, if this is the way that they're going to end the original cast of Digimon, I think that movie was absolutely phenomenal. It was originally supposed to come out on my birthday, but obviously with pandemic and everything, it did not come out till later in the year.
Right.
But overall, the storytelling and seeing how full circle the Digidestin came and what eventually happens when they grow up, like the whole story was fire. You kind of just with the name of the movie, you know where it's leading up to and what's going to happen. But when it actually still happens, you're not prepared for it. But just getting that closure on that side of the story, even though they pretty much made a whole reboot of the original series, it was pretty clean. It was pretty clean to get that after literally 20 years of that junk coming out.
I dig it. I'm glad you were happy about that. Sin, do you have something you want to mention or no?
Probably the biggest thing for me this year as far as pop culture and that kind of stuff was Sword Art Online Season 4. The whole season was
okay.
Told you. You just had to wait. You just had to wait until it was all over so you could binge watch it.
Hey, look, that thing was so spectacular. Like
I dig it.
I didn't know. I thought it was gonna be good going into it, but how they raised the stakes and how they just elevated it and just everything going into it. And that whole season was fire from beginning to end. It was by far like my favorite thing that I viewed all year long. Was that without a doubt? Without
dig
a
it.
doubt.
So listen, for those of y'all who are still with us, again, we will be participating in a fundraiser. It's 24-hour fundraiser, January 20. It won't be us for 24 hours, but Uncanny Nerd is doing a fundraiser, 24-hour fundraiser for the 3Bs Foundation, which is the bosombuddybaskets.org. So they're a nonprofit organization that provides comfort to women who are recovering from breast cancer mastectomy surgery. So they're gonna have Greg Gunberg from Star Wars and Heroes and Lost is gonna be involved. Ethan Sachs, who wrote Old Man Hawkeye, Star Wars Bounty Hunters. We playing some party games and so forth with them. Ming Chen, Comic Book Man, and the Shared Universe podcast will be involved. We are going to participate. We will be choosing the top 10 DC animated universe films, which I'm going to say right now, many of which will probably have Batman in the title.
Yes, they probably will.
Probably will.
So make sure you guys are following Uncanny Nerd. Across social media, on YouTube and so forth. They'll be talking more about it. Again, that's January 29th from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, it's a good cause. So if you can find it in your heart to donate, please do. We're going to participate because it's a worthy cause, and because a friend of all of ours, mutual friend of ours, and the Uncanny Nerd team, his wife is battling cancer of her own, and this particular charity was her choice. And so I just think it's a really good cause, and they're local. So I think that's dope. So I think that's super dope. We will definitely be involved. We are excited about doing it. Please join us. Please make sure you go and you follow those folks. They talk some really good content for sure. You don't really want to miss what they're doing. I wouldn't back them if I didn't believe it. So on that note, we can ready to get up out of here. Again, we're running a little bit late. I feel like, so you want to run a heist? I know, dog. I know. I know. But here's the thing. I'm off tomorrow.
I ain't.
I know. I knew that when I said it. We can talk offline about that. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we're out. We appreciate you. We really do. Thank you so much. Toodles and loos. Shut them down, Sin. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.